Hi everyone.
Hi,
Hello.
everybody. Hi, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, we'll just give everybody a second to arrive. I'm just currently getting all my tabs open so that we can hopefully just get straight into it if it'll just come up. No, okay, cool. Fab, how are we all doing? Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down in the chat. I'm a little bit, Fede's giving lots of thumbs up. I'm a little bit low energy. Fede was just saying, can be a little bit low energy. I'm trying to. No, Fede wasn't just saying. Fede was just like, "You're all right." Because I'm like, "Oh," but I'm perking up. This session always gives me energy. So this is where I'm going to get my energy today. Hi, Balu. Hi, Jonathan. Hi, Arif. I'm trying to see who else I can see. I think that's everybody with the cameras on. Yeah, if you don't have cameras on, you write in the chat. I don't usually shout you out. Hi, Hannah. It's like I'm therefore got to put your cameras on if you want to shout out. That's what happens. Fab, cool. Okay, guys. So today we are doing part 2 of our PPC, all about ads. Okay, so super exciting. Hi, Runyi. Hi, Angela. Super exciting. We are gonna get into it. Cool. Give me a sec. And I'll figure out how to share my screen. Okay, so lots more talking from myself. We're going to finish off what I was doing last week, and I'm going to take you through a couple of the different platforms. So, Arif is saying, where do we submit our last assignment? Very good point, Arif. Fede, can we maybe set up a Google Forms if that's okay for the last assignment? It's for the SEO audit. If not, guys, if you want to if anybody's done it today and you want to send it to me on Slack.
I can I
Oh,
can I can set up a Google form for it. I'll send it to you tomorrow morning. So then you can upload the document there, and that should work out.
perfect. And this is why we have Fede. Because I was like, oh, just chuck it to me wherever. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out after. So yeah. So some people have messaged me, haven't quite done it yet and want to do it tonight. So absolutely not a problem. You will be happy as well, guys. I have not set any homework for this week because I think the pace of homework is getting quite intense, even just for myself reviewing it. So we'll have a break from homework this week, and then we'll probably have one next week that I'll review whilst you're with Kay. Cool. Okay, so from early this week, what were we kind of learning about? So we have been looking all about PPC. Okay, we've been looking all about ads. We did quite a lot on Facebook ads. Today we are going to talk TikTok ads, LinkedIn ads, Google ads, everything. Okay. I'm not going to zone too much into each of the platforms. What I'm actually hoping to show you is pretty much that no matter what platform you're on, they pretty much run the same, if that makes sense. And we're going to talk about just like what makes a great advert. Cool. So today's session, we're going to go over the 7 deadly sins of Facebook advertising. I'm going to show you copy.ai. Okay. This is like my little cheat sheet. This is, a good resource that you can use just in general, just as new marketers, if you want a bit of support, if you want a little bit of inspiration. We're going to create a Google Ads campaign together. We're going to look at some LinkedIn ads and analyze some of those. And we're going to talk about creating an advertising campaign and what works best. So how you can kind of put this digital ads strategy together. Cool. So the 7 deadly sins of Facebook advertising. And, some of this is Facebook specific. Some of this is just, general when we're doing ads online and we're doing performance marketing. What are, the things to watch out for? So the first one is boosting posts. Who here has ever boosted a post before or knows what I mean? Nope. Okay, cool. What I often find is that quite a lot of business owners, when they are starting out with ads, Valerie says no, when they're starting out with ads, what they often do on Facebook is they click boost post, okay? Now, when I was talking to you about the different kind of forms that ads take, boosting posts, you're basically asking Facebook to give you more reach. You're basically saying to Facebook, show this ad to as many people, please, as you possibly can, okay? And when you do that, what business owners often find is that they lose a lot of money on Facebook ads. Because what we're asking the Facebook algorithm to do, what we're optimizing for, is we're optimizing for reach, just pure exposure, right? And so what this means is that you don't often get a lot of sales off the back of it. You don't often get a lot of engagement off the back of it. You're just saying to Facebook, please show this ad to as many people as you possibly can. So Facebook does that, but really there's nothing else that goes behind that advert. So the first of the 7 deadly sins is boosting posts, okay? Doesn't really do a lot. You can do it on your page. You don't even have to go into Ads Manager to do it. I really wouldn't advocate for it and recommend it at any point, okay? You might get a couple of likes, you might get a couple of comments, but it doesn't really do a lot. The next one, not tracking data. Remember what I said before, you can't manage what you can't measure, okay? So for example, I've had a client campaign that is delayed. It's actually chipping in. I spoke to you about the other week. This should have kicked off properly last week, but it's delayed. The reason it is delayed is because they have not installed the Facebook pixel properly. And I'm basically refusing to start their campaign, really kicking it off. Not refusing, it's just getting delayed. Because until I get that pixel installed, I do not have that data. It sounds pretty minor, because, you know, if we were looking at Chipping In's campaign, I'll see if I can get it up for you actually. If we're to look at Chipping In's campaign, I did a bit of a test looking at, you know, what was I looking at? I was looking at their ads. So I was basically looking at their clicks and just at how well is the ad performing. But past the clicks, you know, I don't actually really know what is happening. And so I'm chucking all this traffic at the website and I don't know if it's converting. I don't know how much it's costing. You know, so far they said they haven't received any signups. You know, I really need to know what's happening there. So let's have a look at this ad that we ran last week, I think it was. So we had 116 link clicks. It was 42p per click. So we spent £48.51. And if you actually break it down, if I click on the thing here, you can see that I was running this to 2 different types of audiences. So one was parents, which were what Facebook classified as parents. So when I went into their, I'll see if I can find it here actually. So here, this is one of the parents. So it's new parents, 0 to 12 months, parents all, parents of preschoolers, 3 to 5 years, parents of preteens, 9 to 12, parents of primary school age children, parents of teenagers, parents of toddlers, and who are also interested in parents, okay? So that's the first audience I tested against. So this is basically Facebook knew that these people were parents. The second audience I tested against were interests that parents might have. So it says Dada Life, I love my dad, Life of Dad, Mum, Mummy, Mumsnet, school mum, stay home mum, okay? And what came through was that the group that parents thought were saying to parents, the link clicks were cheaper than the groups that were interested in parenting things, basically. Okay, so that was one way I was trying to split it. This sort of Facebook says is parents, but this is some of the people that are things that parents may interact with. The group that Facebook says were parents were more accurate. So I quickly turned off that ad set and let that one carry on running. So you can see here, I turned it off and I let that one continue to run. So we had 96 link clicks of this group, but I could not tell you, if we look at the charts, okay, let's look at the demographics. So I had way more women clicking on this ad than I did men. Kenzie, you've got your hand up, go for it.
Yeah, hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so basically, is it a bit like market research when you split it up to find out what would be better?
Exactly that. It's exactly that. So when we're splitting up these campaigns, we're testing against these different audiences. So what I like to say is that as a performance marketer, you're a bit of a scientist. You have a theory and you're just testing it. You're just putting it out there, seeing what happens. And then when the data starts to come back, you can use that to inform your decision.
Okay, and how many categories would you split up into, like one advert?
Yeah,
What's a
really good
starting point?
question. Really good question. So for this one, I've split it because I know it's parents. I've currently just split it into two. So I'm just trying these two different types of parents that Facebook's categorized. What I was going to show you here as well is that what I can actually see is that the people who have clicked are mainly women. They're actually like 94% women. So every time I'm showing this ad to a man, he's not clicking on it. So what I would then do is I would run another campaign and now I'd only show it to women. So you can keep niching down and niching down and niching down on your audience. So for this one, I've done two, but then if you can see here, I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different types of ads. So you might then decide, or you might then do, right, I want to just focus on audiences in London or something like that. So I would always start off with maybe 2 to 3 different audiences and with a couple of different ads. Or what some people do in my team is they'll do 7 different audiences, but they'll only test 3 different ad types. So it just kind of depends what you want to trial. Like with this, the bulk of it is I was trying to see, okay, is this ad better than this ad? Is this ad better to this ad? I didn't want to make it too confusing. So I just kind of did 2 audiences. But once the data starts coming in, so now this is telling me, which I've not even looked at properly, but this was telling me, actually, Imelda, here, you can see, look, for the 1 click that we got for the male cost £2.20. And this is being shown equally to males and females, whereas the women were actually costing 39p. So if I took all the males off and only showed it to women, that cost is probably going to reduce even more. Or if it meant if I was going to target men, I should probably do something a little bit different. That's what they use. That's usually kind of showing me. Here you can see what platform it was on the most. So most of the clicks came through Facebook. That stacks up to me pretty much because you would usually say that Facebook is a bit of a more 25 plus platform, whereas Instagram can be a little bit younger. Also, parents might be in groups, they might be in a different mindset on Facebook. Yeah, Claire says, I'm quite intrigued by how Facebook identifies parents and the accuracy of that. Me too. That's why I was like, should I trust Facebook's data? Because I have never targeted, I think this is the first campaign where I've targeted parents before. So yeah, now here it's also showing me that, like, look, it showed put it on the audience network. It also put it on Facebook Messenger and nobody clicked on it at all. So what I would do is turn those things off, and maybe I might even turn off Instagram and just focus on Facebook, because that seems to be where the majority of my clicks are coming through. So all of this, yeah, sorry, Claire's just put, I feel that any cis woman over 25 equals pregnant according to Facebook based on the adverts that I started getting. Very true, but it does also depend what you interact with, because I'm going on holiday to Dubai in January. So I started, obviously I'm Googling things around Dubai, I'm doing whatever about Dubai. And then I started getting adverts for property investment opportunities in Dubai. And I was thinking to myself that maybe I was with this crossover of, because I'm interested in business and I've been recently Googling Dubai, I was getting shown these adverts. Claire says, okay, to be fair, it's when I was 24, I was doing my obstetrics. I don't know how I'm pronouncing that, I'm probably butchering it, in gynecology placement. So yeah, you might be Googling things around babies or whatever. Just really funny thing about here is this as well, guys, is like my mum, she, I think I told you before about adverts. A big thing is retargeting. And I told you that, like, she'll visit, say she'll go on let's say she's looking at holidays to Spain and she clicks on a hotel website, and then they've dropped a cookie on her and they'll be retargeting her, and she'll be like, oh, Melda, it must be a sign. Ever since I've gone on that website, I've been seeing this hotel everywhere. And I'm like, it's not a sign. Like, it's a cookie. They're tracking you. They're retargeting you. 100% not a sign. She's like, it must be a sign. I have to book a holiday there. So yeah, like, they are tracking what we're doing basically. And that is why these ads become so targeted. I get a lot of ads for business, a lot of ads for marketing stuff, a lot of for kind of courses, just because of my search history and things that I Google. Cool. So hopefully that makes a bit of sense just about, you know, the power of data and where we can kind of look at it. I'm going to see if there's any way as well that we can, let's see if we can break this down based on ad set. So here I've gone to the ad set level. So you can start looking at the cost. So here I have an ad set that's as low as 12p per link click and one that's 53.62p per link click. So I would probably want to turn this one off and keep this one running, definitely. Keep this one running. Anyone that's kind of low and keep the rest, but this one that's quite high, I would turn that off. But it's very cool that you've got one that's actually 12p. Probably would go up if I tried scaling it out. But yeah, so this is just a really good thing to look individually, okay, what is performing well and what isn't performing well. But the big thing on here is just because these guys clicked the link doesn't mean they actually ended up signing up, which is what I want ultimately. So this only really gives me half the story because Facebook are telling me, okay, look, we sent that click to you and we can tell you how good that click was, but I don't know what happened on the other end. So without that Facebook pixel, that data is just empty to me. Do you know what I mean? And if you do get that information, let me try and look at some older ones that I've done. What have I done earlier this year, which is a good example? Trying to think what events I've ran. See if I can get one for my old Facebook ads workshop. Cool. Okay. Go into campaigns, webinar wizard, Facebook ads workshop. Let's get a good one. 133, 79, 114, 227. Cool. Gonna click on here. It was a very simple ad that I did, but now if I look at the campaign and let's look at the charts. Okay, so I had 214 results from Facebook and 12 from Instagram. And look, here we go. Here you can even see by age category, okay? So 18 to 24, it was costing me 56p per woman and £1.19 per man. Man, 96p between ages of 25 to 34, 58p per woman. Men, 61p to 70p. It was costing me more to acquire women at this age range. It was costing me cheaper to acquire women at this age category. It was cheaper to acquire women at this category, and it was cheaper to acquire women at this category. Overall, it was cheaper to acquire women. Kenzo, I can see your hand raised. I'm going to answer in a second. Oh, somebody unmuted. Nope. Okay, cool. What I was going to tell you, so really funny story, is that I looked at this and I was like, oh my God, it's so much cheaper to acquire women. I'm just gonna go for women. So I changed some of the requirements that I wanted on the event. I asked for more data, but then I just targeted women to make it cheaper. I kid you not, it was one of the worst webinars I've ever ran, like for sales. When I'm doing a webinar, I've usually got like 150 people online and I'm doing quizzes, you know, we're doing Menti. I'm like, write this in the chat, woo. And I'm like super high energy. Sometimes I have music when we're coming in. Like all of this is people who've never met me before. So everybody absolutely loves it because webinars, especially in lockdown, were so boring. So we're like, whoop, whoop, and everybody's writing in the chat. I did this one with loads, only women. And they were usually probably this age category, maybe 25 plus to maybe to the 65 age range. Nobody was writing in the chat. Nobody was energized. Then I opened up the sale before the break. I left to give everybody a 10-minute break. So it was a 2-hour session. I come back to the chat and it was like everybody was having like a bit of a mother's meeting. They were all kind of not bitching, but it's like the last thing you want to have in sales is anybody saying, everybody's like, oh, I love the webinar, but this is just way too expensive. I can't do the next training. Somebody was like, oh yeah, me too. And they were like, yeah, I'm on furlough at the moment. And they were like, oh my God, me too. And I was like, that's just not what you want where you're trying to sell a program, is everybody talking about how they're skint. It just brings down the energy. It's one of the only ones I didn't make a sale on. So yeah, that just like really taught me that even though it's cheaper to acquire the lead, there's a big thing about having a better quality lead and having the right energy or something when you're doing the webinar. But yeah, so lesson learned. Kenza, go for it.
Hi, so I have two questions now.
Yeah.
The first one was why does the price differ for different attributes, I guess? And the second one is how do you basically decipher a good quality lead?
Okay, two really good questions. So first question, why does the price differ? I kind of was trying to explain it to Hannah on Tuesday, but I'll try again and then we'll see. Maybe I should do a slide on it or something next week. Basically, how these ads are calculated, how the cost is calculated is that you've got the cost of how many people we've shown it to, how many people have clicked the link, and then how many people actually made a purchase. Okay. So for example, let's say take this one, men between ages of 18 to 24, it's almost half cost of women. So look, we got 2 men versus 17 women, right? So in this, Facebook says we showed this ad to, let's say, 100 people, right? But out of those 100 people, only 2 people actually made a purchase, right? When it came to males of that age category, compared to we showed this to 100 women and 17 of them made a purchase. Therefore, cost of that individual man was higher versus the cost of the individual woman. Does that make sense, Kenza?
Not really, no.
Okay, let me just think of another way to explain it. So basically, what this is showing you, I won't do it as percentages. What this is showing is that more women are clicking on this ad and converting than men of that category. The more people convert, the cheaper it becomes. Does that make sense?
Okay, so is it like charging you for every time that hasn't led anywhere kind of thing?
Exactly. So even if somebody clicks the link on a site but doesn't actually sign up on Eventbrite, I still get charged by Facebook. So the link clicks cost me every time. So if they don't convert, it ends up being really expensive because people are clicking and not converting. So, but the nice thing about getting this data properly compared to what I had with chipping in was I could only see the link clicks. Whereas with this one, I can actually see the end result. This means that more people actually signed up to the event. If I was looking at the pure clicks, I don't know if I have that information here. I was looking at the pure clicks, that might tell a different story. Okay, it might show me that loads of men are clicking on the ads, but actually they're not converting. So that's why it ended up being more expensive for males overall.
Why is it that, sorry, they don't charge, like they charge you more for not converting?
They charge you regardless. So they charge me, as soon as somebody clicks the link, they charge me. But what we're trying to say to Facebook, what I'm trying to track is I don't just want to look at the link clicks. I actually need to figure out whether they converted on the other side, on the website. Did they actually sign up to the event or not? So Facebook makes their money. You know, it's not up to them kind of thing. They just charge you for sending traffic to your website. They said, look, we showed the ad to people clicked. And the lower your cost per click is, and the lower your cost per result is, which is here, that means the better your ads are, because it means that more people are clicking through.
Could I just quickly repeat that back to you to see if I've got it with some numbers?
Yeah,
so
of course,
if let's say you were spending 20 pence per person, so you have 10 people click, so you've spent £2.
Yeah.
But actually, let's say 20 people click and they reduce the price to, no, actually, let's make it bigger. 30 people click and they reduce the price to 10 pence. Then you've actually spent more. You've spent £3. You've had more people click it, but you've still not made another sale. All you've done is spend another £1.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
but that's when we're doing it.
Engagement.
But that's when we're doing it for clicks.
Yeah.
So for link clicks. So if I say it again, like what Claire said, okay, we've got she said 10 people at 20p per click. Okay. So if I get 10 people onto my site, that costs me £2. And then let's say for every 10 people, one person signs up. So that one person costs me £2. Does that make sense? Now, let's say I change something on my website and suddenly I get 2 people sign up instead of 1 person. Now the cost per result has cost me £1 each. Does that make sense to everybody now?
Yeah.
Cool, fab. So that's why we want as many people, like if the price is going down as more people like as more people register, because the conversion's getting better. So sometimes I'll do a campaign, I'll show you one on LinkedIn that I did the other day. It's costing like, I think it was like £15 per link click. So the way a link click is calculated is, I've shown this to like 1,000 people, how many people clicked the link. So you want to be looking all the time at how much does the cost for the link click and how much does it cost people to actually convert. So the cost per link click shows me how good my ad is. And then the cost per people converting usually shows me how good my website is, if that makes sense. Wherever did I send the traffic to? Did they actually convert or not? Valerie says the cost becomes worth it the more people convert. Exactly that. The aim of the game is to get as many people to convert as possible, basically. And that will drive your cost down. Kenza says, what about a quality lead? Great, Kenza. Now you've chucked in another curveball, which is exactly what I had before, right? So here, I said, oh gosh, it's so much cheaper. Like, look, 59p compared to 74p. That's quite a difference, right? If you start 100 people, that is what? £50 versus £70, right? If I'm doing that every week, that saves me 80 quid a month, okay? So I go, oh, do you know what? Forget men. Who cares about men? I'm just going to target women. But Kenza's just said about a quality lead. What actually ended up happening is when only women came to my webinar, the vibe was off and my sales went through the floor. I didn't convert at all. So there's all these different factors to play. And this is why it's a bit like being a scientist, a mathematician, all the rest of it. We're always tweaking, fiddling around, trying to get a good stable thing with our campaign where we're like, right, now I'm happy to chuck lots of budget behind it and scale it out. Claire says, I feel like I'm going to go through the internet imagining everything that I click going cha-ching from now on, the money that must change hands in an average person's browsing Google, social media. So true, right? And do you know what's really funny? This is a complete aside now, but there is something called click fraud where companies go to click farms in China. Let's say I'm going to search dress, hold on, dress black, right? And let's just see what comes up at the top. Okay, this is an ad. There are apparently companies in China, well, not apparently, there are companies in China that just send thousands of clicks every day to these to like drive the price up. And because in Google, it's a little bit different, to drive the price up, but not convert, and basically price these people out because it's costing them. Every time somebody clicks on a link, it costs them for an ad. So yeah, that's a whole other thing. And I was working with a tech company, and basically they didn't want to do any ads because they were like, what about click fraud? And I was like, nobody cares about like your little company to do click fraud too. They don't do click fraud to like massive companies, but anyway, it's a story for another day. Cool. Okay. Back to my presentation. Where are you? Lovely. Cool. So the second of the 7 deadly sins was not tracking data. Okay. The third, no objective. I like this picture because it's kind of like this way, that way, the other way, not having a clear campaign objective. Okay, this is another thing that I really see a lot on ads. Remember when I told you, in fact, I'm going to go back to Facebook for a second. Not that one. We're going to come to this in a second, guys. That's why I've got this ad thing up. So remember when I told you about creating a campaign objective, okay? When we click here, if don't have a clear campaign objective, if you don't know what you're doing this for, so let's say you want sales on your website, but you end up with awareness, that is like not a good thing that you want, or you end up with engagement, okay? That is something that we really don't want to see, because then you're not able to get the power of the Facebook algorithm behind you and get them to be able to help you. So not having a clear objective about what our ads are doing or what they're for. Okay, the fourth of the 7th deadly sins, changing too many variables, okay? Claire, I can't remember what word you used last time. You can write it in the chat for me, maybe. The very scientific thing about...
I think you were saying...
go for it.
Sorry, I just ate a sandwich and choked. I think I was saying something along like isolating the variables to find out which
isolating the variables.
Is that it?
Yeah, that was exactly it. Okay, so Claire's obviously, you can see she's got, Claire, in your picture, you've got your little doctor's thing on. So Claire's obviously knows the science side of my adverts. Isolating your variables, okay? So the reason why I've got a Frankenstein image here, okay, is because a little bit like Frankenstein, if you don't figure out what thing it is that you have changed, if you don't isolate the variable, as Claire said, then it's kind of like you can change this, you change that, you change this, and suddenly it might be working. Like Frankenstein, it's alive, but you don't really know what was the one thing that actually ended up making this a successful advert, okay? So you don't know how to take it forward. So this is, kind of a, Claire says same rule skincare. It's the same rule of a lot of things, okay? Making sure that we don't isolate, making sure we isolate the variables. We don't change everything at once. The 5th, no targeting, okay? This is not just a Facebook ads rule. This is just a rule in general. So when we are, looking at Facebook ads, or when we're looking at all of these different elements, okay, making sure that we're really clear about who it is that we are trying to target. Sorry, guys, I have to take my jumper off. I'm too hot. Give me a sec. Okay, sorry, usually I'm too cold, so it's very rare that I'm trying to take jumpers off, but I'm literally sweating. Right. There we go, back to it. So with our no targeting, basically what I do not want to see is 18 to 65, no interest in the UK. Remember when I said before, like if you're talking to everyone, you're talking to no one, okay? Look at what I did with the Facebook ads. Look when I was, chopping it up by audience, chopping it up by all this different data, okay? Making sure that we are targeting. And remember when I said about the targeted marketing, we can have different ads for different types of people, for different audiences, okay? You can do one to males, one to females, one to somebody in London, one to somebody in Manchester, making sure that we are chopping this up in really clear ways. Okay, the 6th of the 7 deadly sins is abandoning your ad sets, okay? What does this mean? This is something that I see all the time in business owners, which is they start off with a campaign, they set it as a daily budget, let's say like £10 a day, £20 a day, and then they just leave it. Don't check on it all week. And then they come back, they've spent hundreds of pounds. They found out they've got no conversions, okay? The ads just kind of run off with them. So making sure that when you're doing a campaign, I get a bit neurotic sometimes when I'm doing loads of campaigns. I'll check on it like every 3 hours or 4 hours. I used to wake up in the night and check on them, okay? You don't have to go that far, but making sure that you don't just forget about your ads, because honestly, Facebook will just keep charging you in the background. So you can see like what I did, making sure you're checking, oh, look, actually, let's turn this ad set off. Let's turn that audience off. That is what keeps your ads at a very kind of strong level. So making sure you're checking in on them. And the last one, number 7 of the 7 deadly sins. So it's a bit of a mouthful for me today. We have overloading your ad sets, okay? What does this mean? Now, this is something that I usually talk to people who are already, running ads and already kind of know about them a little bit. And what this means is that sometimes we might get, let's say I'm going to go back to one of my ads where it's like, right, it's going to cost me 50p cost per acquisition, okay? And I then go, oh, wow, 50p cost per acquisition. Wow, if I spent, £5,000 on it, I would get, God, I don't know what I'd get like 10,000 signups, okay? So I'm like, right, I'm going to spend £5,000 on my ad sets. I don't know why this happens. Okay, I don't have all the answers to the Facebook algorithm, but for some reason, if you put too much budget on any one ad set or in any like one audience, you just find that it just goes, your conversions drop, you know, it gets more expensive, all the rest of it. Okay. Reason being, I think, is because you exhaust your audience. So there is only a finite number of people really within that audience group. Okay, so what happens is Facebook show it to too many people, or they start showing it to the same people again and again, or people just become tired of it. So the best thing for me is I don't really spend on any one ad set more than £100 a day. And that's for like my biggest clients, do you know what I mean? So making sure that you keep your ads at like quite a good level. Cool. Does anybody have any questions about any of that? No, all making sense?
Sorry, I came in later. I had trouble. I was logging on a different laptop. I missed number 1. I didn't get it written down.
Number 1 was not boosting posts.
Okay.
So making sure, yeah, when you're on Facebook, making sure that you don't boost posts, because it just optimizes. It's basically for reach or awareness, so it doesn't actually end up in sales ultimately. So yeah, no boosting of posts.
Okay, thank you.
Not a problem. Fabulous. Okay, cool. So guys, yeah, hopefully that was useful. Next thing I'm going to show you guys is something called copy.ai. Really funny, well, not a really funny story, but like when I show you copy.ai, I recently got, in fact, I'll show you it first and then I'll tell you, but basically I was going to build a copy.ai competitor, but I do not have the time. So I got access to the same artificial intelligence thing that copy.ai is built on, but have not managed to do anything with it. Started building it and it just was taking too much time. But yeah, you might look at this and be like, oh my, but it's built around my marketing methodology rather than theirs. But something here, I just signed up for a free trial for it just so I could show you guys. But if you're ever struggling, there are so many cheat codes now to help you, especially if you want to go into marketing, to help you create ads and do all of these things. So I'm going to do, what did I do before? I'm going to do a client of mine, an old client of mine, because I don't think we're working with each other right this second. But it always does quite good ones for her. So this is just like, also, it's just like tech. It's very cool. So I'm typing in my client, Derma Organics, just for context. Sorry, my computer's crashing a little bit. Just for context, Derma Organics is a skincare brand that's like all, you know, handmade ingredients, and she does loads of things around like medical ailments, so like rashes, dry scalp, acne, like hair concerns, acne, oily skin, aging, dark spots, uneven skin, dryness, eczema, dermatitis, ingrown hairs, hair loss, large pores, dry beard. So very like specific around like ailments almost that you're having, and it's all very kind of good for your skin. So here I've put in the title, I put in the website. Now, what is your product called? Let's choose a product off their website. Let us have a look. Let's have a look at their, we will take their scalp stimulating treatment. So I think is a, oh, in fact, no, let's take this one. Bumps and Stumps topical eraser. So I take this as the product, describe your product. I'm just literally going to copy and paste the description. It's gone way over. Let's take it. Okay, cool. Here you can do the language. So what do we want? We want English, British, output language, English, British, the tone. Let's say we want it friendly. And then click create copy. Okay, this is actually for product description, so I didn't want to change what we're doing this for. Now, copy.ai creates all of this copy for you. Can you see that? So let's say we want digital ad copy and we want Facebook primary text, right? Give it a sec, it's thinking. Where have you been all my life? Bumps and Stumps is a powerful dark spot corrector and skin perfector for the face. It's formulated to combat common skin ailments such as blah, 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 blah. Bumps and Stumps dark spot corrector is effective organic topical solution. Bumps and Stumps topical works fast, gets to the root of problem spots on your body. Bumps and ingrown hairs are a thing of the past. It's natural. Like it's just, if you're ever a bit lazy or you need like ideas, or you're going to a company or you're doing freelance and you're having to churn a lot of things out, this is just one of the things. Now, I'll be honest with you, they're not always amazing, but if I'm ever struggling a little bit, this just helps me in terms of like giving me a bit of a a boost basically in things that I can edit. So like here you've even got like catchy email subject lines. So this is obviously to promote the Bumps and Stumps. Are you one of the millions experiencing dark acne, dark spots? Your skincare product search is over. How to get rid of a pimple overnight? How to deal with acne? Oh, see, some of it's a bit funny because it's an AI thing. But anyway, it's just a good tool. If anybody has any like businesses, like look, it does keyword generators for you. You know, when I was saying before on the SEO week, we were talking about things. Anti-acne, anti-aging serum, best anti-wrinkle cream, dark spot corrector, dark mark remover, face wash, skincare, natural skincare, acne, blemishes. Yeah, face wash, face lotion, all of these things. Okay, so you can literally just copy the results. So yeah, it's just a cool thing. I think it costs like $20 a month, maybe, if that. I'll be honest, I don't use it like when I did have it, I didn't use it like day in, day out, but it might be that like if you've got blog ideas, we might just do this for a general derma organics. And then we might just say like natural skincare or something like that. We won't give it a lot. And see what it comes up with. Yeah, so like your problematic skin, how to deal with dry skin that itches. Do you know what's in your makeup? Blog about skin irritation, understand your skin. So basically the AI uses what you've put in, scans the internet and can come up with ideas to help you. So it's just a cool little like marketing assistant thing for those of you who maybe if you end up doing, you need to write lots of copy or loads of keywords or lots of things for SEO. It's just a cool thing that you can kind of utilize to support you. Cool. Okay, so how are we all feeling on that so far? Yep, nods. Okay, cool, fab. Right, guys, next one. We're going to do a Google AdWords campaign, okay? So let me go to my mini tabs. Okay, cool. So I'm going to be really honest with you. I don't do Google ads lots of the time. There's somebody else in my agency who usually focuses on Google ads. So I'll talk you through it, but they're not like not my favorite things, but they're not just like something I do all the time. I usually focus on Facebook and Instagram. I just get the best results. Why do I get the best results? Because Google is very overpriced. Google used to be really cheap in like the 90s. Now, not so much. Facebook and Instagram are starting to get that way. It's starting to cost more and more to advertise on Facebook and Instagram, which is why you're starting to see lots of marketers like myself move over to platforms such as TikTok and Snapchat. Usually the kind of newer platforms are always cheaper. So yeah, that's another reason basically why I don't use it. So here we've got, what's your main advertising goal? So I'm going to say get more website sales or signups. Give it a second. Give us your business name. I've said Drip Drop Agency. Where do people go to click in your ad? Drip Drop Agency. I think this made me fill in my full address before. Give it a sec. Cool. So this is my website. This is it on desktop. Yep, that's my website. Kind of going from here. Improve the effectiveness of your ads by measuring what people do on your site. So I'm going to skip that for now because I don't think I have Google Analytics on my site. I don't drive traffic towards our homepage. now it's time to write your ad. Okay, so this obviously thinks this is a juice bar, not a marketing agency. I'm guessing it's the drop and the dripple. I don't know what it is. So Google Ads. Oh gosh, yeah, no, it's really, that's not my business category. Okay, they obviously think I'm a juice bar, so I'll have to sort that out later. But here I might say, we might say, I want my headline to be ready to get more out of your marketing. Okay, too heavy. Let me have a look. Want better marketing. Okay, really simple. Headline number 2, we would say drip drop marketing agency Sheffield. Okay, I want this a marketing agency somewhere. Okay, really simple. And then drip drop agency. Can you see you don't really get much text either? You know, like all the long things that I like doing on Facebook and Instagram to hook them in. I find that Google is best for if somebody is already searching for your business. So for example, if I have a dog groomers in Sheffield and I'm trying to tap into people who are searching for dog groomers, perfect. Okay, because I want to make sure it helps you with your, not your ranking, but you can kind of surpass your ranking and make sure it's up there. If you don't have something that people are really searching for, obviously people are searching for marketing agencies, but you can get a marketing agency anywhere in the world, and really you have to do something a little bit more than sell them than just be a marketing agency. Does that make sense? So what you'll often find is that this keyword is going to cost me a lot, and it's going to cost me it's probably not going to convert super well because they're not getting a lot of information before they click on the ad. There's no image, there's no whatever, it's just my website. Plus, it puts a lot of pressure on having a really good website, as in that converts really highly. So you have to build that in as part of your strategy. So I'll say I've put like get more leads, and I'll just say like, if you're a business owner, can't get sales. This is really bad, by the way. I'll just say try our local. No, I'll just say try our Facebook ad specialist or something like that. That's it. That's your ad. Okay. That is all it is on Google AdWords. Okay. That's as difficult or as easy as it is to basically put up a Google ad. Okay. It's not, oh God, look at these keywords. It's not, should have probably thought of like a better business name, but here we go. So like my keywords, I'm looking for marketing agency, marketing consultant, all of those kind of things, marketing strategies, a marketing strategy, general marketing, might say Facebook ads, all of these kind of things. Okay. Where do we want to advertise? Let's just say that I want to advertise in the UK at the moment. Again, you can kind of zone more in. So I don't want to advertise near my address. I love that they know like basically exactly where I live as well. Let's say I want to advertise in Manchester for whatever reason. Yep. Here, select the budget. So here you can see here, right? £8.20 gets me an estimated 130 ad clicks a month, which is nothing really, is it? So, and that's right, that's £8.20 a day. Gets me 210 ad clicks a month. So if I was gonna break that up, let me do this one. If I say 370 divided by 31, let's just say 11 clicks a day. So that would be costing me about £1 a click, if not more. So it's not, and they don't convert very well. It's not a very well priced thing. Should you be on there? Yes, if you want, if you're working at a big agency or something like that, then, it's useful. But would I say to like kickstart it as, like for new businesses or for those who don't have big budgets? Probably not. So I'm not running any at the moment, but that's basically how you set it up. The analytics are very similar to what I've just shown you with Facebook and all the rest of it. The thing with these kind of things is like once you do one, you kind of do them all. Does that make sense? Cool. So I'm going to very quickly show you LinkedIn. Just again, guys, I'm just showing you so you're familiar with these kind of platforms. So if I go here, if you go on advertise here, this takes you to the LinkedIn Ads Manager. So these are ad accounts that I've ran previously, I've been a part of. So I'm going to take you to We Rise In here. No, not the page, not the company, sorry, the ad account. And I just want to show you, I think I mentioned this in a previous session that I did this Black on Board event for We Rise In. Just to give you content. So this was for Black professionals looking for their first board role, okay? Targeted mainly at corporate. Now, what I often find, I think LinkedIn personally is trash for advertising on, but a lot of my clients really like it because it's seen as professional. I will say something though, I'm sure a lot of you on LinkedIn, which do you spend more time on, like LinkedIn or Instagram, Facebook, TikTok? Like you usually go on LinkedIn to check a message, to whatever, to respond, to post something. Nobody, personally, I think nobody is sat scrolling through LinkedIn for fun. It's just not that kind of platform, right? I know Angela's laughing, but I'm sorry if you are scrolling through LinkedIn for fun, but I just don't think, yeah, Vaz is saying no, I just don't think it garners the same amount of attention when people are on the search or looking for something new, even in a professional environment. I think there's better ways to go about it. Now, what I've sometimes found is that leads that you generate through LinkedIn cost more, but are higher quality because of the kind of people who are on LinkedIn. So it's always a good thing to test against. But personally, for my own business, I don't do it. And I don't really like to do anything. I don't produce myself or anybody else. By the way, Eleonora, I've just seen about your comment about advertising on TikTok. I personally am not currently, but I've got a TikTok business account. So I'm going to show you a similar kind of thing with their business platform and also what good TikTok ads look like. Cool. So yeah, okay, so back to this. So I'm going to show you, so look, we've got this Black on Board, £100, 6,303 impressions, okay? So over 6,000 people saw that ad. Saw, because nobody's really having fun on LinkedIn, are they? But we only got 46 clicks. So less than 1% of people who saw the ad clicked on it. So the cost per click was £2.17. Now, the pixel wasn't working, so I could not set this up for conversions, right? So let me take you back to the Facebook Ads Manager and let me show you, and like the founder, basically, when I was telling you about things getting shut down, Facebook shut down the We Rise In ad account, just completely shut it down. I don't know why. I think I told you sometimes when you're doing things like for Black professionals or whatever, they get a bit, if it's a new account, they don't like it. So let's compare against this, right? We had on this one 123 link clicks, 48p per link click. It's like a quarter of the price. So I spent half the amount and generated, what's the difference? Yeah, so I've spent just over half and I got, oh God, where have we gone to? Here we go. Instead of 46 link clicks, I got 123. Like, and it's really difficult without the conversions because the pixels weren't working basically. And this was a rush campaign. So I had 4 days to put these campaigns together. Like I had to get the copy approved. I had to get she gave it to me on a Friday and she wanted to launch the ad campaign on a Tuesday, right? So really only about 3 working days. So my designer only had Friday. I gave it to her. Really, she was only working Monday and Tuesday and we're meant to go live on Tuesday. So we had to get edits done, had to get copies. So this isn't like I'm happy with the copy in the campaign, but the way it was set up, it was just such a rush basically before the event. So it's not my favorite one that I've done. But anyway, look at that difference basically in the cost per click. So this is why it's important to test across different platforms and kind of see where, like what comes out best basically. Cool. Okay. Somebody asked about TikTok. Taking you to TikTok now. So this is me. I haven't done any TikTok campaigns under this account. So this is me just setting it up with you. And I'm still, by the way, a little bit of a TikTok newbie. I've only just recently moved over to this as an advertising platform. One thing I'll tell you about TikTok is you usually get much lower cost per click. It's a lot cheaper. Conversions are better. I find that for e-commerce, for anybody with a product, if for me as a marketing agency, nobody's really going to convert on TikTok. Okay, when we're looking at these audiences, it's very Gen Z, very young. Okay, if you have a product, so I'm going to show you a client that we're working with. In fact, I don't want to spoil it because it's part of the exercise, but I've got a couple of clients that we're working with that I'm going to start putting them on TikTok basically, because I just think that, yeah, I just think it's really it's a good kind of it's a good platform to be using. Cool. I'm actually just going to, yeah, I was just trying to find a Facebook group as well that I wanted to share with you. I've just remembered the name. Valerie said, so would you do this for your clients or to advertise your product, your brand as a marketer or company? Yeah, so guys, I'm doing this for my clients. So like my personal business, as an advertising agency, my clients aren't on TikTok, or if they are, they're quite hard to reach. But there's a couple of businesses, and I'll see if I can find it on my phone, because basically I saw a product on TikTok last year. This is me going on a bit of a tangent here, but I saw a product on TikTok last year. I think have I told you about the laptop desk? Nods or shakes? No. Okay, cool. So basically I'm wanting to develop a laptop desk. Whilst you're doing an exercise, I'll see if I can find you the video. Wanting to develop a laptop desk. Basically, I saw this laptop desk on TikTok, actually. Literally went viral. I think it had like 250,000 likes, had hundreds of thousands of comments of people asking, where is this product from? Where can I buy it, right? And I then saw it go viral on Twitter. I then saw it go viral on Instagram. And I was like, somebody needs to make this product because the people are crying out for it. Do you know what I mean? I did, long story short, I did some research about the product. Basically, it was a product that got made on Kickstarter, and it did like hundreds of thousands of, like, not hundreds of thousands, I think it did $300,000 and had over 1,000 backers, right? But because of, as I've started trying to develop it, I can see what the issues the developers had, like the manufacturers had. Basically, they couldn't ship it, right? So everybody was left like, they lost their money on Kickstarter. It was this big scandal. The people made a Facebook group to complain. I then did more research and I found that the product somehow made its way onto Amazon under a different brand name. What probably happened is the factory sold it to Amazon. Long story short is basically did loads of research, got a patent lawyer. Vaz says it's good for looking at trends. It's fantastic at looking at trends. I was like, I'm going to make this product. The patent's expiring. I know that I can sell this. I know that if I did a cool campaign, I could run this on TikTok. There's still a big like, can she do it? Can't she do it? Because I'm not a manufacturer. I'm not a product designer. I've never done a product-based business before. I'm really struggling with how to get it. But I know as a marketer, if I run ads for this, like it's going to be sick. It's basically like you can lay in bed. I don't know if anybody uses a laptop in bed, but I use my laptop in bed all the time, and I like rest it on my stomach. You like hook it in and it can like, you can lay back and type, and there's like a cool drinks cup and something else. And I was like, this has to get made. Yeah, Valerie says always. Like I'll see, there's an exercise you're doing. Whilst you're doing, I'll see if I can find the TikTok video, and I'll see if I can find the comments and stuff as well, because it was just like mad. But I'm in the process of trying to develop it. And what I was saying, back to coming to advertising on TikTok, I was like, I know if I ran ads for that on TikTok, I would get sales. I just know, right? I actually know if I just ran ads for it full stop, I would get sales. So me as a marketer, I want to just like go off and run and sell it. But Business Imelda knows that I actually have to try and get this developed first, because old me would have just sold it and then tried to make it afterwards, but that's how you get into trouble. So
Oh boy, I'm sitting in my bed right now.
Pardon? Did you say you're in
No,
bed right
I am.
now?
I'm sitting in my bed right now.
Selena, you're going to be my first customer. I can. But yeah. Oh, Vaz says, how do you have all this energy to have so many businesses, clients on the go? Oh, Vaz, do you know what? I don't even know the answer to that. I think I'm like oh, what did I call? Somebody said that I'm like a masochist, which I actually found out has like really weird connotations. But basically, it's like where you're like pain. I don't think I'm that thingy, but I obviously, you know, sometimes I was just speaking to a friend. I said, oh, hopefully next year things will get quieter, and she was like, you literally say that every year. You say that every quarter. You say that every month. The issue with me, Vaz, is like I just like business and entrepreneur. I like sales. I do know I also like being busy. Like, guys, I'm also like trying to write a book. I trying to do all my clients. I'm trying to do all this stuff. I want to launch new courses. And then I was saying to our MD at One Tech, Mandy, the other day, I just said, sometimes even when all of those things are perfect, then I'd be like, Imelda, you're getting fat. Like, you need to go to the gym. Like, I hold very high standards for myself all the time. Like, can never be perfect. So yeah, should probably, you know, I do like being busy, but I just on a panel today and somebody was saying, how do you do stuff? I'm quite lucky in that I have a lot of systems, but I also do burn out quite frequently. So I have to be quite careful that I don't take on too much at any one time. I like, by the way, I always think, you know, when I was really ill the other week, I think it's because I do all of these things. And the week before I got really ill with you guys, I went to the gym every single day. And I was like, it's the gym that must have made me ill. Last time I went another week, I went swimming every day, and I got an ear infection early this year. So basically I'm just like allergic to exercise, I think. But yeah, if you ever see me ill, just like, have you been to the gym recently, Melda? Because this is the only reason why you get ill. Cool. So looking at TikTok, here on the dashboard, I'll just take you through it. So what's your advertising goal? Let's say it is to get website visits, okay? Really, I want to drive conversions, but I know if I click that, they'll probably try and get me to embed a pixel. So we'll just kind of go forward. Select your audience. So same, can you see it's a very similar kind of thing. Female, let's say 13 to 17. Can you see this actually starts quite a lot younger than it does? Saying your audience size is too narrow. Okay, let's say, right, maybe there's not many 13, 17-year-olds. Right, so we're saying 13 up to 24, okay? 5 million female 13 to 24-year-olds in the UK on TikTok. Yeah, even I didn't know, like, it's mad, isn't it? So I want to show my ad on TikTok. My daily budget, let's say it's £10. Set the date, start now with no end date. If you're doing anything that's like fidget spinnery, that's like, you know, anything like that, right? It works really, really well on TikTok. Now, I don't have a video here, okay? But we're going to go through, what time are we on? It's 6:05. Cool. We're going to go through just basically what makes a good TikTok ad, okay? I'm just going to tell you this verbally. I didn't do a slide on it. So the things that make a really good TikTok ad are, is anybody on TikTok, by the way? Can you give me like a, yeah. By the way, if you're like over 18 on TikTok, like I'm on TikTok, I'm obsessed. So like Eleanor is saying no. Eleanor, you need to get on TikTok. Okay, what I will say, I'm not even joking, guys. This is just me being me. Like TikTok is like my happy place on the internet. Like I just go there to just be happy and spend time on my lunch. I'm like, you know, I'm just going to sit on TikTok for half an hour. Like it's puppies, it's babies, it's makeup videos, it's food videos. Like it's really good. Yeah, I don't post on it. Valerie's saying nothing on it. She says I am, but I just don't want to keep looking at social media. It can be draining. Okay, it's literally the only social media platform I would say that like gives me energy rather than taking it out of me. Instagram and Facebook, I'm so fed up of seeing everybody I went to school with have babies or get married. So over it. Twitter, I'm so fed up of seeing all the news. Everybody, you know, whatever, and what's her name, Kate Hopkins or whatever, or Piers Morgan making it onto my timeline, like over it. TikTok is like my one true happy place. Okay, so I would definitely advocate if you need a bit of serotonin in your day, like TikTok is a good place to be, but you can end up in a bit of a hole on it. So yeah, Dahomey says, yeah, like her daughter sends cute baby videos from TikTok. Like I send my mum dog videos and stuff from TikTok. So yeah, cool. Right. Next, let me have a look. Okay, cool. Yes, I was going to show you some different ads. I do have some feedback, by the way, that you can't hear me very well when I take my headphones off, but I do have to just for this part because it has to play out of my laptop. So I'm hoping that this is going to be all right. But yeah, the person I want to show you actually is a woman called Social Savannah. And by the way, I'd really advocate for, as a marketer, you can, oh God, do you know what? I do this whole thing like, oh, I don't have my tabs open. And then when I do have my tabs open, here we go. I can't find which one I want. Right. Try to be prepared and get all my tabs open in advance. And then I can't find them. So this woman at the Social Savannah, right? She is like the TikTok and Snapchat expert. Okay. I follow her stuff for TikTok and Snapchat. Guys, if you're wanting to do freelance ads and stuff, there is just a massive thing of people just creating TikTok videos. That's a job in and of itself at the moment. People will pay like up to 400 quid, 500 quid, a grand a month just for you to freelance make. This isn't even talking about ads now, just to make TikTok videos for them, because everybody wants to be visible on this platform. So if you get good at it, people don't know, like TikTok ads, they are a little bit different to normal kinds of ads. But I actually find, by the way, if you do TikTok ad styles on other ad platforms, they perform really well. So I'm going to take my headphones out just quickly. Okay, cool. So this is, she's put here, ad of the week for my client, an e-commerce product. She's want to create effective UGCs, user-generated user-generated content. She said, listen to your customers and find out what they're looking for in whatever. So she's put other tips for making effective ads. Use native text overlays. So make your ads in TikTok, okay? The big thing, let me just pause that. The big thing that people don't understand about TikTok ads is don't make it on a different platform. When they're in TikTok, you want to feel like you're staying in the platform. Does that make sense? So make the ad within TikTok and make it in a TikTok style video. Use language and emojis that resonate with your audience. She says, film on iPhone. You don't want it to look too professional. That's the big thing about TikTok, right? We're all trying to, you want it to remain as if you're like still in the platform. Add social proofing. Use fun transitions to show variation and include a call to action or end card so the viewer knows where to go. So this is an example that she's given. Oh, hold on. Okay, trying again.
So I finally caved and ordered the slide leggings that everyone's talking about. They're the best booty lifting and anti-cellulite compression leggings out there. They have a ton of color options. So I went with this cute peach color and this gray that aren't see-through or sheer at all. I love that they're high-waisted and they don't slip no matter what pose I'm in during my yoga practice. I definitely think I found my new favorite pair of leggings.
Really simple. That ad will have cost nothing to make. Do you know what I mean? So this is what I'm trying to talk about, is that you don't actually have to like reinvent the wheel with these things. So here's another one. So what she said here, so show, don't tell. According to a study done by Verizon, 92% of mobile users watch video with the sound off. By the way, that's me. Like I watch videos with the sound off just because I'm like busy. So don't forget to add your captions. This unique way of telling a story requires a phone, pen, post-it notes, and a little creativity. The best part is ad can be used on TikTok, Snapchat, and Facebook. So she's giving this as the ad of the week. It says the video's got no sound. Hold on. By the way, I would never say don't use any sound, but I would definitely say use, you know, like have a bit of something on the background, if that makes sense. Now, I'm just trying to quickly, let me just pause the group because she used to have I'm in a Facebook group of hers and I cannot remember the name for the life of me. I thought it was called Great Ad Examples, but obviously not. But she has some ads on her creative examples. Yeah, really annoying. Okay, cool. But here, so this is some that she's made on her website. Oh, I don't know if it's my computer. Okay, maybe this doesn't have any sound. It'd be good if we could get a sound one. No, okay, maybe it's not playing out the sound for me. But I'm going to drop this link in the chat anyway. Have a look at her. Jeez Louise, hold on. Have a look at her site. and some of her ads. She also has a really good YouTube. I'm just putting my headphones back on. She also has a really good YouTube that can kind of help. The nice thing about all of these, if you're looking at them, like they're all done on iPhone, they're all super easy. The best thing I would do sometimes is if you're doing any freelance work, like if you know a young person or you want to pay for like an influencer or something, get them to make an ad for you like this. TikTok influencers are usually really cheap and they will make one in that regard. So I'm just going to answer a couple of questions in the chat. So Eleonora says, you have many clients in coaching and spirituality, and there are many posts around these topics on TikTok. There definitely is. There's quite a lot, actually. Do you know what I've seen a big rise of as well recently on TikTok is like therapists and like relationship experts. Like I'm seeing a lot of coaches and consultants. Would I run ads on TikTok? No, but TikTok, I was literally thinking, I think I said to you guys the other day when I'm being mental and I'm like, I should be doing this and I should be doing that. I was like, I should probably make a TikTok, you know, to try and, you know, debunk marketing things. I had an idea for one in the past. What was it going to be called? Oh yeah, How To by Imelda Fosu. So just like very quick 30-second to 1 minute how-to videos, and doing very quick kind of business and marketing things. It's just another thing on my list of things that I should do. Also, I'll be honest, the audience is probably a bit younger, but I've found people can drive massive sales on their e-commerce, on their coaching business, and all of these things by having a really strong presence on TikTok. Vaz says, where would we look for the TikTok freelance jobs? For freelance jobs, I think you have to pick up with individual clients. So it's a little bit like the same freelance anything. We'll actually be discussing this a little bit next week. It's the same with freelance anything. Going out and finding e-commerce brands always works really well, and saying, you know, are you running ads on TikTok? I could do this for you. If not, like even if we're looking at like LinkedIn jobs, if I'm looking at TikTok, there are or should be. Oh, I think actually I've looked before, but they're all like TikTok specific. They're all actually from TikTok. Yeah, but here you've got like global community lead in TikTok. The rest are actually TikTok specialist. Like it's mad that there's a TikTok specialist. You know what I mean? Like, are you an absolute TikTok genius? And you know, you're all saying to me as well, like, oh, how do I get jobs with no experience? Like, if you make a TikTok and get to like 10,000 followers, which by the way, you can get to, I think I told somebody, if you post on TikTok twice a day or at least once a day, but up to 3 times a day for 30 days, you will get to 1,000 followers on TikTok. Like it's just mad for organic traffic and stuff at the moment. So a lot of these jobs are from TikTok, but here you've got like community manager TikTok, TikTok creative, volunteer, launch and grow charities TikTok, social media coordinator on TikTok, TikTok manager, TikTok coordinator. Like there are jobs out there basically, okay, for you to like become performance account executive, TikTok B2B, performance. Yep. There are jobs out there, what I'm trying to show you, for getting things on. If you can show, look, hey, I built this TikTok up to whatever, okay, it's definitely like an opportunity for you there. Cool. Okay. Just looking at time. What else did I want to show you? Great ad examples. I've already kind of gone through. Okay, cool. So I just want to give you a little bit. This is my process on every time I get a new ad client. Okay. So do you remember when we did about the 4 A's? So that kind of like, what are you amazing at? What are you amazing at? Then about the greatest pain and the problems and all of those kind of things. Okay, that is my question. I literally just onboarded a new client this morning. First thing I did was the 4 A's. Okay, so understanding the target users and understanding your brand's positioning. Next one is, what platforms do we need to advertise on? So now I understand the audience. I need to know, where do they congregate? Where do they hang out online? Okay. Sometimes people come to me and I say, do you know what? Ads aren't for you. I don't know how we're going to reach these people, because it's a bit mad. Do you know what I mean? Or it's like, they might say, let's say somebody says to me, oh, Imelda, I want to come and do ads and I'm trying to target developing countries' governments. Like it's not something you do an advertising campaign over. Something like that, you do research, and then I would target them on outreach on LinkedIn or cold email. Does that make sense? It's like very niche. You know, so there's things like that, or like I want to target people who work at M&S. Like it becomes very specific. Something like that is probably better served with doing a cold email campaign, doing cold outreach, doing some kind of outreach campaign, or even doing something more traditional like letters, or, you know, loads of other things. So I would actually probably advise against it, and I've had that in the past before. Yeah, so what platforms do we need to advertise on? What does the full funnel look like? Okay, this is a big thing. I get the ads, I get you the traffic, but where am I sending them to? I need to have a look at your website, I need to have a look at your offer, all of those things that we said. Then I start thinking about, what is our ad positioning? What's the hook here? What am I trying to get people? What am I trying to pull them in on? How do I keep them there? And then what is the hook and the copy? Once you have that, that's my kind of rough process for setting up an advertising campaign. Cool. So guys, we have just under 15 minutes left. I'm going to give a couple of minutes. Forget the Natalie Naman one. I'm going to show you, this is a new client I'm working with. It's a company called Next Goal Wins. I'm going to put this in the chat. I don't think this is the right link. I don't think this is the right link at all. So give me a sec. Nope. Okay, cool. This is the link that I'm looking for. Right. This is a company called Next Goal Wins. You can have a look on the link I'm about to drop you, but basically I'll just tell you it's a football game. It's a football card game, a football board game, okay? This isn't for football nuts. It is for general people who like football or like board games, okay? It's a bit like a Top Trumps. You know, you didn't have to be into whatever the Top Trumps was about to be able to play Top Trumps, okay? So what I want you to do is have a think. I'm going to give you 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. I don't think it'll take you very long. Have a couple of minutes. I want you to think, have a read. What advertising platforms do you think would be good to advertise this on, and why? You can ask me questions, but it's pretty broad. Target groups it's inclusive. There's male and female cards. And it's for all age ranges. It can be a family thing, it could be an individual thing, it could be a group of boys, it could be a family at Christmas. So yeah, I want you to think, based on the kind of platforms that we've spoken about, and some other ones that maybe I haven't mentioned, you know, in terms of doing training on, what platforms do you think would be good to advertise on, and why? Yeah, okay, cool. So I've got some people in the chat. I'll give you all a couple of minutes. Don't feel like you have to rush. I'm just going to give you a couple of minutes to think, and then I might ask some people to unmute and give me their reasonings. Okay, how are we doing? Okay, I'm going to go through still, like, if you're still writing, please carry on. Just going to go through some of the answers because they're really interesting. So Kenza has said, Facebook and TikTok. Valerie said, okay, Valerie's given different categories, and she's come back in saying social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Jade is saying TikTok, becoming up for all ages. Dahomey says Reddit, really interesting, leans towards males and has niche groups. Claire says TikTok for actual play footage, Instagram stories for mock-ups of the cards. You can have a template for these people to do yourself. Love that. Runny saying Facebook. Okay, I'm going to come to a couple of people. So I'm going to go to Kenzie. You answered first. Can you tell me a little bit about Facebook and TikTok? Why did you choose those two platforms?
I chose Facebook because you mentioned family, and you mentioned also that Facebook has like a lot of its audience is above the age of 25, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
But
that would be a good place,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, to target families and individuals even. And TikTok, because it's a fun place, and I guess games would work there really well. I've been on TikTok, and like I always see like Amazon products you have to get, and like games you have to try and stuff like that. So I can definitely see that working on TikTok.
Yeah, love that. Fabulous. Yeah, so I had a very similar kind of thesis. It isn't just for over 25s, because it's like for all family. It can be with kids, you know, it's like it's board games, isn't it? It's like 6 right up until whatever. But I think the key purchasers, even if it's kids, it's going to be parents, isn't it? So Facebook's always a good place to go to. Love that. I'm going to come to Dahomey. You said Reddit, which I thought was interesting. I would love to know your reasonings.
Because it tends, I know Reddit in the past tend to lean towards males, and it seems like something that boys would be interested in. And they also have these niche groups like people who are into role playing, people who are into particular types of games, but they'll be very specific. Yeah.
I love that. I think that's a
Yeah.
really good shout. And I'll be honest with you, I know that how they drove a lot of their Kickstarter fundings, they raised 10 grand in Kickstarter funding. And a lot of it came from platforms like Reddit and forums and board game lovers and all of those kind of things. So yeah, definitely bang on. Okay, cool. So, okay, Eleonora, you're playing devil's advocate. Eleonora said, I feel like it's not cool enough for Instagram. I find it a bit nerdy, but maybe it's me. Eleonora, for it, give us a reasoning.
Yes, as I said, I find it a bit nerdy. Like on Instagram, you see the fashion, I don't know, weddings, as you said, all the cool stuff, really celebrity place. And this is more for Reddit, yeah, or, places for the geek. So it's perfect also for Facebook and YouTube and TikTok, of course, because of the age and because of the video format.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't see it on Instagram, even if the video format maybe is okay for Instagram stories, but I don't think it would be successful on Instagram.
Okay, super interesting. What I would say about anything, you may be right, you may have a thesis, but what I would tell you guys is, even if you feel something like that, I usually advocate for testing on most platforms and then letting the data tell you whether what you believe is to be correct. So for example, with We Rise In, I did not think that ad campaign was going to do that well on LinkedIn. Still had to put it on LinkedIn just to try. Does that make sense? And sometimes as well, I'll be honest, a lot of client management, you might have a client that says, no, I want it on Instagram. And you're just like, no, I know this is not going to be good, but you just have to keep the budgets low and test. But I'm often sometimes surprised. There's audiences that I didn't think they were going to pick up on it, or platforms I didn't think would go very well. And it always really shocked me. So I'll tell you the platforms that I'm going to advertise on for this campaign. It's a very short campaign. If I had more time, I would do more, but I'll tell you the platforms that I would do is Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, Pinterest. I think that's it. Okay, so TikTok, the reasons that we said, user-generated content goes really well. I've seen games do really well on there, actually. It's that kind of audience. Instagram and Facebook are just the cornerstone of every advertising campaign that I do. Okay. Like there's never any campaign that I do where I'm not advertising on IG and Facebook, just because the reach out there is crazy. And although like Eleanor makes a good point in terms of like maybe it's a bit nerdy and stuff, but the thing is, because of just the amount of people on Facebook and Instagram, if you hit on the right audience, you know that they're going to be out there. Does that make sense? And I'm thinking of like my older sister, she likes like Dungeons and Dragons and gaming and all this kind of stuff, right? So you would say that's a bit nerdy. Like she's on Instagram, she's on Facebook. It's about going to those general places where those people like hang out on, as well as the niche groups. Because even if you're on Reddit, you've still got an Instagram account, you've still got a Facebook or whatever that might be. I would definitely want to try YouTube. I don't do a lot of YouTube ads. I'm trying to move more into video content, just because with YouTube, you need to have quite a good setup. And with something like this, I don't have a lot of quality. So I don't have a lot of control over, right, you know, if I'm doing a Facebook, Instagram ad, I make a static thing, I can do something with videos. If you're doing a YouTube advert, like I need the product here, I need to get like a shot up, I need to get it properly recorded, I need to get it edited. It's quite a lot of work. But yeah, if I had more time or energy or had more budget on the campaign, I'd definitely do YouTube. Pinterest is a good one for e-commerce. You often find a lot of niche groups on there. It's just something I'd want to test on. And I think I said, oh, and Snapchat for the age group. Like young guys, I'd probably be trying to get on there, and young people. Okay. Eleanor says, how many ads would you do as a test? Because I'm doing loads of platforms for this campaign, I'm actually testing on the platforms which are best. I'd maybe do like 3-ish ads on each platform, 2 to 3. So I wouldn't be over indexing on ads, because I'm like, the thing I'm trying to test is which platform should I do. Once I see a platform's working, I'll probably, you know, like test a little bit more on that and make some different ad sets and stuff. Cool. Okay. I think that is my last slide. Cool. We've got a couple of minutes for Q&A, guys. Does anybody have any questions? By the way, this is our last week on PPC. I'm not saying any homework because I feel that it's not very, in fact, I don't need to get that up. I'm going to stop sharing. I feel that it's a little, I don't want to say, what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, I don't think it's very great of me if I should keep saying homework when I haven't finished the last, marking the last homework you guys gave. So we've got homework that's due today, remember, from the SEO audit. And we had homework that was from the other week about content, which you should be getting. I've started looking through some of them. I'm going to deliver all the comments at once. There's still a couple of people's that I need to get through. So I'll probably try and do that at some point this weekend and send comments to you all. If I'm feeling like I've got energy, I'll try and do the SEO audit as well at the same time. So yeah, you should get comments back on that very soon. Next week, guys, is your last week with me. And then I'm handing to Kay, who's going to do a proper employability stuff, like I am. I'm still doing employability stuff, but I'm doing skills. She's more doing like CVs, like all of those kind of things. Oh, everyone's saying, oh no, oh my God, you guys are so cute. But yeah, like Kay's great. So you're going to have Kay just for a week. And then I don't know if Fede's around. I think we have like our graduation day, Fede.
Yeah, we do.
Cool. Yeah. So, am I set? Yeah, I think I'm setting a task for graduation day. I'll probably have to pick up with Fede for that offline. But yeah, so in fact I am, because I think I've got some plans, but Fede and I'll talk that over. So next week we are doing it's all about, this is next week is basically, we've done a lot of the skills the last like 6 weeks. Next week is all about me trying to do my own little, I guess, spin on the employability side for you guys. This is all about how to build a personal brand as a marketing individual. This is about how to how to network as to get more jobs in marketing, how to build out marketing strategies. So I want you to now look at we've done all this individualistic thing, and now I want you to go very high level, very strategic. You get a company, how do you build out the strategy? How do you do the proposal? It's very like, what I'm really setting you up to be, I guess, is if you wanted to go into freelance marketing after this course, that's what that is for. It will still support you if you want a role, but I'm more kind of like, right, if you don't get a job, you can go out and start making money from your marketing skills after this course. So that's what next week's basically about. Guys, we're at time, but if anybody has any additional stuff that they want me to cover next week in terms of freelance, in terms of personal branding, in terms of anything like that, please do unmute yourself, drop it in the chat, message me on Slack. Yeah, Eleonora said that she needs a bit more marketing stuff than employability. You can always contact me and ask questions on Slack. I'm just gonna quickly get my Calendly up again because I can see that somebody is missing it. So give me a second. But yeah, please don't forget that you can book in on one-to-ones with me. I've had a couple of chats with different people on the course. Copying my link. Cool. So yeah, feel free to, sorry, give me a sec. Yeah, so feel free to, if you want a quick chat, to be able to book in with me. Guys, just FYI, I don't mind people booking on my Calendly. The only thing I ask is like, please don't book in on the day, or sometimes like, you know, like late at night for like the next morning. Because, you know, like if I feel like I've got something, I'm like, oh, I'll have a lunch or whatever. And then I have like 2 people book in. I'm like, oh. So yeah, just like, if you can always give me at least, you know, if you're gonna, I've just dropped it now. So if you're gonna book in tomorrow, I guess, you know, I know that I'll probably have gaps tomorrow. I understand. But yeah, if you like, some people save my Calendly like to their notes and then they just book in with me like on the day. It really throws my day off. So that's when sometimes you'll have me messaging because I think I'm going to do work in that gaps or something like that. Vaz, you're saying you can't remember what date you booked in. Vaz, I can try and have a look and I'll message you on Slack. If not, just check your emails. If you search Calendly, you should be able to find it. Cool, guys. Okay, so super excited for next week. And yeah, then we can go from there. Fabulous. Guys, I will see you on Tuesday.